So now we are going to start with another type of subcutaneous mycosis, that is mycetoma. So mycetoma is also known as Madurai foot or Madura mycosis. Okay, so why is it known as Madurai foot or Madurai mycosis? Because it was first described in Madurai. Madurai is in South India. So it was first described in Madurai by Sir John Gill. Okay, so mycetoma actually is a chronic granulomatous infection. Okay, it is a chronic granulomatous infection which is caused by both fungi and bacteria. Right. So on the basis of which who causes it, that is, if it is caused by fungi and if it is caused by bacteria, mycetoma is divided into two types. So if it is caused by bacteria, it is known as actinomycetoma, and if it is caused by fungi, then it is known as eumycetoma. Okay, so how does this infection actually occurs? So the causative organism, that is the fungi or the bacteria, usually lies in our surroundings, right? In our surroundings, they are saprophytic organisms. They are not present in our body. They are not commensals. They are saprophytes, right? So it is a type of exogenous infection, right? So it is a exogenous infection. And how do we get the infection? It is the mode of infection is traumatic inoculation, right? Like in sporotrichosis. So the mode of infection is traumatic inoculation. So there is some trauma with the contaminated object with these fungal spores or bacteria, then we will get the infection. Okay, and this infection is more commonly seen in males as compared to females, and lower limb is most commonly involved. Right, it can involve other parts of the body as well, but lower limb is the most common one which is involved. Right. So let's see about the clinical features of mycetoma. Okay, so we have a characteristic triad of clinical feature in case of mycetoma, right? So we see a characteristic triad, which is we see tumefaction, we see discharging sinuses, and we see oozing granules. So what do I mean by these? So tumefaction means tumor-like swelling, right? So the patient will present with some tumor-like swelling, as we can see here, right? So the tumor-like swelling, which will be having these discharging sinuses, and these discharging sinuses will be oozing out these granules, right? So the discharging sinuses will have some fluid, right, which could be either serous or purulent, right? Purulent in case of actinomycetoma, that we will see later. So this fluid, which could be either serous or purulent, will have the granules. Now these granules, right, these granules which are oozing out also known as sulfur granules, right, which by the way they do not contain sulfur. They actually contain microcolonies of the causative organism, right? So if it is a fungus, they will have microcolonies of fungus, or if it is a bacteria, then they will have microcolonies of bacteria, right? So now, before coming to the lab diagnosis, we are going to see the agents of mycetoma, right? So as I have already told, that on the basis of who causes it, right, either if it is caused by fungi, it is known as eumycetoma, and if it is caused by a bacteria, it is known as actinomycetoma. So now let's see about the fungi. We have two types of fungi, Demitaceous fungi and hyaline fungi, which are causing eumycetoma. So these Demitaceous fungi will have black color granules, right? They will have black color granules. Why? Because Demitaceous fungi will have black color hyphae, right? They will have black color hyphae, hence they will be producing black color granules. So the Demitaceous fungi, we have, for example, Madurella mycetomatis, we have Madurella gracia, we have Exophiala ginselemi, and Curvularia species. Right, so these are the Demitaceous fungi which will be having black or brown color hyphae. Hence, the mycetoma in their mycetoma, we will see black colored granules. Right, so it is important we see black colored granules. Right, and then we have these hyaline fungi. Hyaline means they will be having the hyphae which are colorless, or they have whitish color, right, and hence they will be producing white color granules. They will be producing white colored granules, right? So from these granules, actually you can anticipate a lot. So we will see that later in the lab diagnosis. So what are the hyaline fungi that can cause eumycetoma are? We have Pseudella escheria boydii, we have Acrominium species, and Aspergillus nudulans. Right, these all are the ones which will be causing eumycetoma with white granules. Now, actinomycetoma are caused by the gram-positive filamentous bacteria, and we have Actinomadura madurai, we have Actinomadura pelliteri, we have Nocardia species, and Streptomyces somilensis. Right, so these are the gram-positive filamentous bacteria that will be causing actinomycetoma, and they will be producing yellowish, right, they will be producing whitish to yellow colored granules. So all of them produce whitish to yellow colored granules, except, right, so this is important. So the actinomycetes, you will be seeing whitish to yellow colored granules, except in case of Actinomadurae pelliteri. So you can remember that P for pelliteri, you can remember P for pelliteri and P for pink. So in case of Actinomadura pelliteri, you will be seeing pink to red color granules. Right, so this is important. In all cases of actinomycetoma, we are going to see yellowish to whitish to yellow colored granules. But in case of Actinomadura pelliteri, we will see pink to red color granules. Right, so now let's talk more about the lab diagnosis. So we will be taking the specimen from the patient. Right, so what will you collect in the specimen? You will be collecting the granules that we talked about. Right, so you will collect these granules which will be having the microcolonies of the causative organism. Okay, and these granules, you can crush them between the two slides. Right, you can crush them between the slides, and then you can go for staining and culture. Right, so let's say you are suspecting that it is a case of eumycetoma based on the color of the granules. Right, so first, when you see the granules, you will comment on the macroscopic appearance. Right, you will see the color, size, and texture of the granules, and you can anticipate the causative organism from that. So let's say you are seeing pink colored granules, so you will think that okay, it might be the case of Actinomadura pelliteri. Right, so after the macroscopic appearance, what you can do is, if you are suspecting eumycetoma, right, if you are suspecting eumycetoma, you will go for KOH mount. Right, you will go for KOH mount, in which you are going to see fungal hyphae, which will be having 2 to 6 micron meter in width. Right, and if you are suspecting actinomycetoma, right, if you are suspecting actinomycetoma, you will go for the gram staining, because they are gram positive filamentous bacteria. So you will be seeing on the gram stain the bacilli. Okay, you will be seeing the bacilli, which by the way will be not 2 to 6 but 0.5 to 1 micron meter in width. Right, and like we talked, in case of eumycetoma, in case of actinomycetoma, Nocardia also causes actinomycetoma, right? The Nocardial species. So Nocardia is an acid-fast organism, right? So you can do acid-fast in case of Nocardia, right? You can do acid-fast staining, right? So that would be enough to for the diagnosis. Now, like I said, that eumycetoma and actinomycetoma are different, right? They present differently. So let's see the differences between eumycetoma and actinomycetoma. So first thing that we need to remember is that the tumefaction, right? So the tumor that we talked about, that these mycetoma are going to have tumor-like swellings, right? So in case of eumycetoma, there will be a single lesion, okay, with well-defined margins. Single lesion with well-defined margin. But in case of actinomycetoma, there will be multiple lesions, okay, which is bad. Okay, multiple lesions with ill-defined margins. Okay, and the sinuses, the discharging sinuses that we talked about, okay, they are again going to be few in case of eumycetoma, and they will appear late. Okay, they are lazy, little bit lazy, so they will appear late, they will be few. Okay, and in case of actinomycetoma, there will be multiple discharging sinuses, and they will appear early. Okay, and they will have raised inflamed openings. Okay, so like you are seeing that actinomycetoma is kind of looking bad. Okay, it has multiple lesions with ill-defined margins, plus the discharging sinuses is more, right, and they are going to appear early also, and they have inflamed openings. Now what about the discharge? Like I said, that in case of eumycetoma, there will be serous discharge, right? So this discharge will be serous, and in case of actinomycetoma there will be purulent discharge, right? And they cause lesions in the bone. In case of mycetoma, you will be seeing osteosclerotic. You will see osteosclerotic lesions, and in case of actinomycetoma, there will be osteolytic lesions. Okay, then let's see the we have seen the differences between the color of the granules, right? In case of actinomycetoma, we are going to see, in case of mycetoma, we are going to see black or white colored granules, right, based on the Edematous fungi and the hyaline fungi. And in case of actinomycetoma, we had whitish to yellow colored granules, right? But in case of pellitary, that is Actinomadura pellitary, we will have pink to red color granules, right? And the grain, right, these granules, what were they containing? In case of Eumycetoma, they will have the filamentous fungi, right? Fungal filaments will be there, which by the way will have greater than 2 micrometer in diameter or the width, right? And in case of actinomycetoma, you will be seeing the filamentous bacteria, right? You will be seeing filamentous bacilli or bacteria, which will be less than 2 micrometer, right? So this was about the differences between the actinomycetoma and eumycetoma. Now, how are you going to treat this infection, right? So let's see that what we have seen till now, that in actinomycetoma it is more aggressive, right? But the good thing about it is that it responds well to the antibiotics, which gives it a good prognosis. But in case of eumycetoma, it actually has poor prognosis, and it eventually leads to the amputation of the involved limb. But we still what we can do is, for the treatment we give first we are going to cut out the lesion surgically, and then which is followed by itraconazole in case of eumycetoma, and we can give amikacin plus trimoxazole in case of actinomycetoma. So let's recapitulate what we have learned till now. Okay, so we saw that mycetoma is also known as Madurai foot or Madurai mycosis. Okay, it was first described in Madurai, that's why it is known as Madurai foot or Madurai mycosis. It was described by John Gill, right? And it is a chronic granulomatous infection, which is caused by both the fungi and the bacteria. In case of fungi, we call it as eumycetoma, and in case of bacteria, we call it as actinomycetoma, right? And it is an exogenous infection commonly seen in males, and it involves lower limb, right? And the clinical features will have this triad of tumefaction, that is tumor-like swelling. It will have discharging sinuses. It will have oozing granules, right, which have the microcolonies of the causative organism, right? Then we have we saw the causative organisms of the mycetoma. That is, in case of eumycetoma, we have Edematous fungi and the hyaline fungi. In case of Edematous fungi, they will be having black colored granules, right? They will be having black colored granules, and in case of hyaline fungi, they will have white colored granules. Then actinomycetoma is caused by these gram-positive filamentous bacteria, right? And they will be having whitish to yellow colored granules, except Actinomadura pellitary, right? So P for pellitary, P for pink, so they will be having pink to red colored granules. Then for the lab diagnosis, we are going to collect the specimen from the patient. That will be your granules from the lesion, right? And then you can comment on the macroscopic appearance, and you can anticipate what is the causative organism in this case. And then according to what you are suspecting, you are going to do the test. Like in case of eumycetoma, you're going to do a KOH mount, right? And in case of actinomycetoma, you're going to do a gram staining. And if you're suspecting nocardia, you will do acid fast staining, right? Then we saw the differences between the actinomycetoma and eumycetoma. Actinomycetoma seemed very severe, very aggressive, because it was having multiple lesions with ill-defined margins. It was having multiple discharging sinuses. It appeared early. It has also raised inflamed openings, right? And the discharge was purulent, and it was causing osteolytic lesions. While in case of eumycetoma, it was single lesion, well-defined margins, and the sinuses were few. They appeared late, and the discharge was serous. They were causing osteosclerotic lesions, and the color of the granules you already know, the black and white in case of eumycetoma, and in case of actinomycetoma, we will having whitish to yellow colored granules, right? And for the treatment, we are going to give itraconazole in case of eumycetoma, and in case of actinomycetoma, we will be giving combination of cotrimoxazole and amikacin. So that was about mycetoma.